All right, guys, I know it's been a tough few weeks. It's been a tough little bit, and I understand it's my duty to, kind of motivate the guys, motivate the troops, and get going.
Oh yeah, so we just completely suck. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Another Bomber victory over the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So, bit of an interesting thing about this game. I actually wasn't at this game, despite this being a home game, but that's because WWE's Friday Night Smackdown was in Winnipeg. I have a video up on that. Check it out. I got lots of footage from that, and it was overall a pretty fun event. But yeah, I was kind of, following this game a bit while I was there, just kind of checking my phone, seeing some of the highlights. And then I watched the full highlights after this game, as well as to kind of talk to some people that were at the game. And it looked like it was quite a game, my goodness, especially for two players in particular, Nick Dembski and Dalton Schoen. I mean, Dalton Schoen has been fantastic all year. Nick Dembski has had a few great games and a lot of good games, and tonight was another great game. So first off, this was Truth and Reconciliation Day, so it was nice to see the Bombers wear the Indigenous Bomber logo on their helmets, as well as everyone going there with an orange shirt. It was just very nice to see. And overall, this was really a really good, complete game for the Bombers in how they were able to force turnovers and take advantage of Saskatchewan's mistakes and cause turnovers because of it. It looked like Saskatchewan was having a plethora of issues this game. And it seemed like the only receiver that Cody Fajardo was at least somewhat comfortable going to consistently was Schaefer Baker. And it's one of those things where if you only have one option, it really limits yourself on offense, because a team, especially a team with a defense like the Bombers, can cater towards that. They can see it coming. They can anticipate it, and that can be another thing that forces turnovers. Near the end of the game, I saw they put Mason Fine in, and he went for a really long throw, gets picked off. And then Bombers with a little bit of an interesting stint where they run forward. He's their first guy's about to get tackled. He'll toss it off to another guy. And it was a smart play because he's just trying to kill the clock here at that point for the Bombers to then get that 31-13 victory. And this was, I know a lot of Saskatchewan fans are very upset about this. And that they're saying that there needs to be change in Saskatchewan. They're right. They absolutely are right. And I actually think that Craig Dickinson might be that changing the coaching staff that's there, because Cody Fajardo is a talented quarterback. He is. However, he's had a rough season, a lot rougher than what we know and what Saskatchewan fans know he is capable of. I remember I've seen some things being thrown around about Saskatchewan maybe looking at possibly acquiring Bo Levi Mitchell. Don't waste your time with that, because is he going to be any better than Fajardo? Maybe a little bit. How much are you going to have to pay for him, though? How much is Saskatchewan going to charge for this kind of or Calgary going to charge for this kind of a player just for him to walk after playoffs? I don't like the risk versus reward. To me, it doesn't seem worth it for Saskatchewan to go out of their way and try to make that kind of a move. I actually think it makes a lot more sense to maybe bring someone else in on the coaching staff, or shake up the team in some other way. Maybe Craig Dickinson needs a new approach to things, because, going into the locker room and saying, oh, we just need to be better, and then going out in the media and saying we suck, that's not a good look. I know they claim that there's a report that comes out that that apparently he talked with the locker room, he apologized, and everything's better and there's fine, and I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Not saying that didn't happen, but it's like, they might say they're fine, but like, if I'm a player, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed about that, because, it seems like a little bit of a stab in the back, where it's like, I'd rather my coach tell me to my face, we suck, we need to be better. Because then that gives me as a player the kick in the ass to get going. But saying one thing and then going into the media and then spewing out all this stuff, this can do one of two things towards players. This can either A, motivate them, give them a real kick in the ass because they don't want this to happen again, and, play fantastic. Or B, it can actually cause resentment towards your coach, in which then you're not putting towards that the most amount of effort you need to be able to get those successful results. And I mean, based on the way Saskatchewan played today, I think it's number 2. And it's one of those things where I feel bad for Rider fans. You know, it's been a tough bit. I think they've lost like 9 of their past 10 or 11 games. It's not good. It's not. And I really, something needs to change in Saskatchewan if they really want to see this kind of come through. Now, this was another great example of a great game for Zach Caleros. It was nice seeing him getting 296 yards here, 11.8 on average, and I was impressed with him. And then another thing was just how good the Bombers' defense was at bouncing back after a bit of a disappointing performance against Hamilton. You know, Hamilton was able to put up so many points. They put up 48 points. The defense was not able to stop that, and the defense really came in clutch today. They were really able to, you know, put those kinds of stops that they needed to in. Overall, I think that made quite a big difference. Again, on that the turnovers aspect of things, it was really, really key to see a bit of that. Dalton Schoen in his performance, going into a little bit more specifically, he had only 4 receptions, 125 yards though, 1 touchdown, 31.3 on the night. Dembski would get 2 touchdowns tonight. This would be, I think, his 5th straight game getting a touchdown. So overall, Dembski has had a really solid season. Dalton Schoen, as the announcer so eloquently put it, has been tightening his grip over the Rookie of the Year award in the CFL. And I think it's pretty much a lock that he gets that. And overall, I'm pleased with this, you know. Despite having actually less first downs on the game, we were able to have quite a bit more yardage, a lot more rushing yards. I'm looking here. Saskatchewan got 63 rushing yards, and we got 136. Yikes. Yikes for Saskatchewan. Brady Oliveira, with 15 carries, would have 101 yards, averaging almost 7 yards, 6.7 per carry. Just overall, great all around. And it looks like the Bombers overall were pretty darn consistent. You know, a little bit of a weaker third quarter where Saskatchewan would get a touchdown and convert and we wouldn't get anything. But we looked like we had quite a large fourth quarter. I remember I was looking at I was at Smackdown and I was looking at my phone. And I saw it like, you know, it was 17-10. And I was like, okay, you know, this is decently close. And then I looked back later. I was like, whoa, it's 31-13. Where did this go? What happened here? So it was nice to see the Bombers kind of bring back that really strong fourth quarter stint, because that's one thing that the Bombers are a little bit known for, is being that really strong fourth quarter team. But overall, I was really impressed with what at least I was able to see. Because I was limited to highlights and talking with some people, it was a little bit limited. Make sure you check out my video on WWE Smackdown. It was an absolute blast, and I know you guys will enjoy that. Some interesting things happened there. Shotzi's tank is back. And yeah, but I'll save the rest of that for the wrestling video. So go make sure you check that video out. Make sure you give this a like, share, and a subscribe. If you guys haven't already, check us out on CFL Central, and I'll see you guys next time.